8:50. Going to talk to Mark Caswell from the Comets coming up. I also want to talk about this issue of the elephants. And, you know, they're doing the whales, and SeaWorld has got to change everything they're doing. It's like all these things are... and as a matter of fact, today I got my PETA newsletter, which is very interesting. We'll talk about that as well coming up. 8:51, Mark Caswell on the line right now from the Utica Comets. Mark, and the season has closed, and it kills me. I needed them to win the next game at home and then beat Albany in Albany so I could actually attend a playoff game this week. And, you know, a lot of people had this problem because it was spring break week last week.
Yeah, I guess the AHL schedule didn't line up very well with schools this year, did it?
This has got to be talked about, a solution. Anyway, but you still filled the house. You still had, a great atmosphere, and it really, the fact that you got to play 2 games at the Odd, that was really big.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a whole other animal here compared to anywhere else. So the fact that we were able to deliver 2 home games, especially one that came with, I mean, let's face it, it's probably the most memorable moment of the season, winning in overtime. Was pretty special. It was great to put a little bit of a stamp on really what was a successful season at the end of it.
Well, there was a group of us. I was in Florida last week. There was a group of us from the area, and everybody was checking their phones and people from the game texting back. And there was literally in Orlando a pretty loud cheer when the text came across that the Comets had scored and won in overtime.
That's awesome to hear. We got a lot of tweets and Facebook messages about where people were watching, and it was pretty cool. Like LA, now Florida. I think there was somebody in Texas. So that's pretty cool to know that even on vacation, people are paying attention.
Yeah. So all right. So you look back on this season. Again, you can say it now. Every single game sold out this season.
Yeah, I mean we're at I believe it's 55 games. I got to look. Might be 56, but it's remarkable. Nobody ever imagined we'd be talking a number that high when we brought the team here.
And tell me, I'm hearing the word that there will be more season tickets sold this year. So
yeah, I don't know the exact number, but there is.
It is going to be tougher to get a ticket next year than it was this year.
Yes and no. I mean, if you want to come on down and get the ticket now, it'd be no problem. We're going to look at our Empire State Ticks. That was our first year with it last year, and we're going to try to make it better and easier for the fans to be able to give their tickets to somebody else or sell their tickets to somebody else. So we're going to take a whole summer here and try to build on what we started last year.
Well, I really like the card process, but I do, if I can complain, I will. I lost out on a lot of points. So if you're a season ticket holder, you know you get points from. I would send the tickets to people. They would use the tickets, but for some reason they wouldn't scan. And then I would get this notice saying they didn't use the tickets, and I'd call them up and say, hey, you didn't use the tickets. No, we did. It just wouldn't scan. So there were issues with that, but it's the first year of the process, and I'm assuming, that's what you guys are going to be working on for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody else had the same problem, and even you, give our office a call. Our staff is very helpful. They'll get those points on there, and they'll get everything situated for you.
I'm not, I feel so greedy saying, I need these points back. But that was a big deal for people. That was a great incentive, I think, to get people into the game and get them there early and to make sure that the tickets were used. I think that's a big deal, that when you sell a lot of season tickets, you can run into the problem where if the people can't make it, the seats just go unused, and you don't want that. Nobody wants that.
From a business side, from a visual side. That's not what we want. The points were created to incentivize fans to sell their tickets or give their tickets to a friend if they can't come, and that's something we're going to look at and adjust as well.
Bill is trying to set a Guinness World Record for the number of points garnered by an AHL fan.
Yeah. I mean, I was really working on that.
That's why he's worried about it.
I'm like, what the hell is this?
They
didn't use the tickets? I'd call them up and berate them, stuff like that. I mean, I took this thing seriously. Listen, what can you tell us anything about next year? Anything in the plans, anything in the works that can be leaked out at this point?
Oh, man, I think I can truthfully tell you we don't have anything huge to announce this summer. So we took the weekend off. We all escaped from work completely. We're going to reconvene here at about 10 o'clock and kind of get our feet set and get our direction set for the summer.
Listen,
there's nothing like any jersey reveal or anything like that. it should be a pretty tame summer from that regard.
I know between rolling out new jerseys and new bars and barbecue shops and all this other stuff, there's been so many things going on every summer, and I guess this will be kind of a quieter summer than we've seen for the past two anyway.
It's easy to say that now, but then again,
you don't know.
We honestly do not know. From a marketing standpoint, I would love to come up with an idea and come up with something where we can keep the fans engaged, but it's going to be trickier this year. We don't have any more rooms for any bars. We don't have any New Jersey coming out. Like there's not much that we can work with, but we got to get creative here.
Listen, I have to say it was really the team was not the same team as the year before. And this was a big test because a lot of people were saying, well, if they're not as strong, I mean, it's tough because they're not going to be as strong as they were, chances are, the previous year. So will the fans still support them? And, hey, you made it to the playoffs, which is huge. And, B, the fans were there every step of the way. I think that was a big lesson to be learned.
Yeah, and this area is a blue-collar town. I think if they're seeing effort and they're seeing hard work, they're going to come out.
Yeah.
If the team's just throwing their sticks out there and, hey, whatever happens, happens, I think that's when you end up losing fans. And with Travis Green on the bench, you're not going to have a team that doesn't show any effort.
Yeah.
At one point in time, for a long stretch there, we had 9 what's called PTO guys. And no discredit to their skills. I mean, they're fantastic hockey players, but that's a very detrimental thing when you look at other rosters. It's only normal to have maybe 3, 4, possibly 5 PTO guys. So I think that's a credit to Travis Green and the culture he's created in the locker room.
Yeah. Listen, people asking, when do the points expire, by the way? It isn't me. It's somebody asking the question.
We haven't discussed that date yet, but we know we're trying to come up with prizes for people to use their points on all summer. We don't want anybody to feel like they left empty-handed. So we're gonna put a huge focus on prizes and points this summer.
Okay, cool. All right, Mark, great season, and pass it along. We enjoyed it and can't wait for next year.
No problem. Thanks for the support, guys. Have a great summer.
Mark Caswell with the Utica Comets. Quickly on the Elephants, the Whales were just the horses in New York City. It's like, and then I get this from PETA, and it's a picture of an ostrich, and apparently this ostrich speaks because it's in quotations. I am not a bag or a burger. I am a living being, just like you. Well, that's true. You are a living being, but I eat you, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And you have these animals, and you train the elephants. I mean, that's gone forever now? Is they're just going to get rid of the elephants?
Well, for at least the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus, it is, yes.
Are you supporting the elephant disappearance?
No, I guess my question is, I know there's been videos, you can find them on YouTube, of like animals, whales, elephants being mistreated through a training process. But that's not the standard, is it? I mean, those are cases of animal mistreatment, or am I wrong about that?
Well, they're not only saying that it's mistreatment, but they're saying that it's an unnatural environment for an elephant to be in, and when there are issues.
So that's why they're discontinuing the Barnum thing?
We are the dominant species here. When the elephants take over, they'll be training us. But as for right now, we are the dominant ones.
So when the aliens invade and take you over and start making you do stuff, then it's okay?
This may already be underway. Mm-hmm. We might be the giant experiment after all.
Right.
I mean, it could be going on right now. They're just watching us.
Right. Neil deGrasse Tyson says we're a hologram.
Yeah, well, every time there's something that happens really bad, I mean, who knows? Maybe there's somebody up there in terms of an alien that's like, watch what I do when I do this. Check out the earthquake.
I take away Keeler's points.
Well, I shake.
Watch what he does.
He'll go nuts.
Some of those animals, though, live better than we do. I'm just going to say that.
I agree, and they love their trainer and whatever. I don't know. Yep. Just the world. What is going on here? Everything as we knew it is to be known no longer. Gotta go. Enjoy your day. News top of the hour, WIBX Utica Rome. It is 9 o'clock.